What is up, buds? Welcome to WeeDnD, the pot-positive live tabletop role-playing experience. My name is Brandon Allen McClenahan, and I will not be your dungeon master tonight, because tonight we're doing Behind the Greens. That's right, that cliffhanger from last week, I'm going to keep you dangling from that cliff, and we're going to hand it over to my girl, Nicole Unger. How are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm good. My arms are kind of tired, though, because I'm, like, holding on to this cliff.
Sword play.
I know, sword play. I'm, like, holding on.
Just hanging on to it, just hanging.
Just hanging. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But no, I'm so excited. It's been a minute to be here with all of you, and we have Jake with us today. I'm so excited.
Hi guys.
Jake,
Hey, buds. Hey, chat.
Hey, and the chat is live. Hi, everybody.
What's up, guys?
Need more rock climbing.
Need more rock climbing. I'm just gonna do some shout outs real quick because we have some really awesome people here right now. Lord Arlen is a new come to the show. He's another fellow streamer. He and I are in Tournament of Kings together. He does some great video game streams. Definitely check out Lord Arlen's stream. Might be Gus. That's our boy Gus. That's Divot himself. Drew Yonemori. Dwarficus is in the house. Crits in the Tantrums, dude makes it every week. We love you, Crits. You are awesome.
What up, Pork Chop?
Pork Chop. I love Pork Chop. For those of you that do not know, oh, and my girl Christina just got here. Pork Chop is actually my brother, Greg, and he is one of the biggest, most ardent supporters of the show. And I can't not shout him out right now. Greg, we freaking love you. Pork Chop is the only official recipient of a birthday message that we custom filmed for him on set, and that's because we love you, Pork Chop.
That's amazing.
It's cool to see the names. I never get it. Like, Arj is in here. Arj is freaking phenomenal. I was lucky enough to play a game of Vampire
You're not
with him
late
one
this
time.
time. You're right. You made
not.
it. You're
he
here.
Made it right on time. He made it right on time. But yes, Arj, we love you. Jimmy St. James, my man. He is from D&D 420. Those guys are great. I just did a cool podcast interview with them. We'll probably touch on it later.
We are, yes.
Again, I never get to just like sit here and be like, you guys are dope. Duggledore, we freaking love you. Double T, started coming probably, what, about a month ago now, Double T? We freaking love you, bro. Like, it's just, this is the part that I miss in the way we do this show normally is Smilesies, that's Kathy, we love you. I never get a chance to just like legit look at you guys and say how much it means to me that you guys come here and that you hang with us every week. And I just want you to know, like, we all talk about you constantly throughout the week and who we think you are, and it's just it's the best. So I just big shout out to our chat people. Thank you so much for being here, guys. We freaking love you. Jimmy, you the man, all you guys, everybody, you're just so great. I'm sorry, it's such a rare opportunity to see their pretty names.
We're usually occupied. We're doing stuff. So
Yeah,
I have the honor of being in the
Rules
chat.
Explain is here.
Rules Explained.
Rules Explained.
Man.
Rules
Thank
Rules
you
Explained,
so much,
fantastic
Rules Explained.
resource.
Love you.
Big fan of the show. Often corrects me when I get a little too high.
Yes.
And start bending those rules as written a little bit.
That's true. We
And
do love
you keep me
Rules
honest,
Explained.
bro. I love you. So I'm sorry, I had to do that. Once I started seeing all the names, I was just like, God, I love seeing these people every week. You guys are the best. I love you. I'm sorry, I totally stole the focus just because.
Stole the focus. This is about you. Well, I love the chat too. I'm always in the chat. Hufflepuff Chipmunk, that's me.
Yeah.
Hufflepuff Chipmunk. So I love being in the chat and chatting with everybody during the show. Some very funny and crazy things happen in the chat. So it's always a fun place to be.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Behind the Greens. I'm very excited to be here and to be here with all of you live because this is live, which is awesome. So Jake, this is your first time on this show. So let's get to know you a little bit because we've talked to some others, but we haven't talked to you at all. So what's it been like being a part of this wonderful experience?
It has been so just wonderful. With it being so new, of course, I was a little worried getting into it. I had no experience whatsoever. I was going into this completely blind.
Yeah.
But I had the most supportive people to help me every step along the way. I never felt like just worried about anything. And I've really learned just like there's no bounds. It's just such an open, wonderful game. Mm-hmm. And when you've got the right people to play it with, it's just perfection.
Yeah.
It's so great.
The team is so wonderful. It's such a great group to watch all the time. So what was it like creating your character?
Oh, well, that was fascinating too because I didn't know the first thing. I mean, I've made several characters for my own like respective projects, but Bam and I went together because he knew I was just so new at this whole thing.
We go together.
And we go together.
We don't have the rights. Don't finish the song.
Like cheddar cheese.
There you go.
But we used some resources and definitely like pulled the name was one that was like a existing character, but we took that and Bam wrote this amazing like interwoven backstory for Rial. Wow. And between the two of us and with Vlad doing our art, it just all came together, just this perfect fusion of like so many different artists bringing this new, well, I was gonna say human, this new high elf to life.
That's so fun. Your character is so neat and interesting, and the different, stealthy decisions and things that you do. It's really, really neat to see, and to see all of you play around with each other, and just to see how the storylines go. Oh, it's been a crazy ride, and it's just gonna get crazier. So, what has been one of your biggest challenges? First, as a person playing the game, what has been one of your biggest challenges?
Oh gosh, and I think it's indicative of me in real life. Is I just don't want to step on anyone's toes. So I kind of do like sit in the back a lot and observe and listen. And the game has helped me kind of step out of that comfort zone a little bit and make some decisions.
A lot of it. You got to give yourself some more credit, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
To speak, not to jump in too much on it, but it's like Jake is one of the people when I talk about this show that I speak about the most often, because Jake is, of all the players, Abby didn't play much, but she had played before. Jake was this was the first time he'd ever played Dungeons and Dragons. And so, I admittedly, like in some of the earlier episodes, it was like pretty clear that you were down to just sit in the back. But then whenever you had a moment, it was so crisp and so good and so golden and defined. And one of my greatest joys as a DM, and I mean any DM can associate with like watching your players grow in your system, but watching Jake specifically, there was like an episode, I think 2 episodes ago, where it was Jake went first, and it wasn't like normally Jake, because he is so civil and doesn't want to offset, he would always be like, what do we want to do, guys? Like, what do we blah, blah, blah? And there would be a little discussion. This time, it was like, I'm going to hide behind that thing, and I'm going to shoot this dude with my bow. And and you just jumped right into it, man.
Like the owlbear?
Yeah, for the owlbear. And it's like, it's one of those little things, like, you could miss it if you weren't paying attention. But for like, as a DM, to see that, Jake is one of my favorite examples of somebody who has grown just so impressively over just the short life of this thing so far. And I am so excited to see his growth moving forward. So, I just want to say, like, again, not to step on your answer, I just want you to know that, like, whereas I would say maybe that did used to be true, you used to kind of hang in the back and worry about stepping on toes, I see your decision-making being more and more active, a leadership a little bit from him, as the character himself grows, too. And so it's like this nice, real, it's like coming from the story we're telling, we're seeing. But yeah, like I said, I think you should give yourself some good credit there, man. Like your decisions are so rooted in character and choice that any of your things that you do tend to have a little bit of storyline in them. And for a DM, that's a gift. I mean, that's a treat to play with. So I talk about you guys all the time. Some big shout outs to some of our other new peeps. Smoked Out Turtle, one of my favorite stories so far. Posts on YouTube like a week ago. Hey, I just found this thing. It's great. I'm going to try to catch up and watch your episode on Tuesday. The whole marathon. Every like 3 or 4 hours, I'd get a comment from him on YouTube. And it was so great to be a part of somebody experiencing the breadth of this whole thing for the first time. So Smoked Out Turtle, we freaking love you. Mama Luna, I missed, you did a Prime sub. Thank you, Mama Luna. We love having you here. I absolutely recommend checking out some of the old episodes on YouTube. We are live every Tuesday at 8, except for this Tuesday. Except for today, where we're doing Behind the Greens.
And then brandy new thumbnails.
Yes.
Oh, brandy new thumbnaills. We got a fresh coat of paint. Everything's looking so nice.
Yeah, put a little thumbnail work.
We don't know if the kid is okay. I saw the question. We still don't. I'm worried about the child as well. Never know. We never know what's going to happen with the kid.
Brandy new.
Oh, God.
Large, fastest hashtagger in the game. No, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep like throwing the. It's just as I see people. Big Kyle showed up. Some of, like I said, it's just I just want you guys. Stacia showed up. I saw Director Dude. Like some of you guys have been supporters.
These beans. These beans.
We may or may not have made a shirt. But yes, so I just wanted to, I'm sorry, again, I don't want to keep throwing us off. As I see you guys come in, this is such a rare opportunity for me to just tell you how much I love you and how much we really appreciate you and how much fun we have with you in chat every week and stuff. So thank you guys so much. I'll stop just screaming when I see names.
Last time we did one of these, you were in the audience back there watching, so now you get to be up here with us.
Smoking.
It's true. He was so high at the end. So very high.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Oh man, that's so nice. One thing I love about the show show is that there is so much love with you and the cast and everybody, and you always open up the show that way too, just so from the heart, which is great. And then you kill dragons and children, which is fine, or burn churches. It's great. So you never know what you're gonna get. That's great.
You have a new penchant for burning churches.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, it's fine. It's fine. But Jake, back to you, because
Yes.
I want to know more things about you. What has been one of your character's biggest challenges?
Oh boy, I think it does kind of go back to that same not stepping on toes, because this poor guy was in prison for the better chunk of his life.
Right.
He's only had like one other encounter with another being, and that person tortured the fuck out of him. So actually having people, I mean, starting with Sumner Milton and then Brunor and then now the Ferocious Five, it's definitely like stepping into new territory. Like, these are people that care about me. Like, this is such a foreign concept, which is really sad, but something I love about Rial is he's learning to love. He's learning to trust. And then of course there's Kindly, but that doesn't quite count. It's just a magical, incantation. It's not the real Kindly. I hope he's well.
I'm sure it's fine.
Oh,
It's
Kindly.
He's fine. Ergon would treat him
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
He's a cat with two tails.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, it's a pretty cool cat.
amazing.
Yeah. But one of the biggest questions that I have, but I'm sure everyone in the audience also is wondering, so how is it that every single time you freeze in the best poses? Every time. It's so epic.
I wish I could say there was inspiration to that, but no, my internet just fucks me in all the right ways, I guess. So I guess that's the thing, though. And I don't realize when it's happening. Everything's still going live, going smooth.
I think you're faking it every time.
Oh, yeah. Well,
literally,
no,
it's
no.
so funny every time. And then there was one that just happened where your box was bigger than everybody else's, but it's because you're the most handsome, is what everyone said.
Fish on. No.
The most handsome. I love it.
I put money down for the big box.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for
that's
the big box.
what it is.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for the big box. I get it.
They take bits, so it kind of works for the chat.
Oh, that's
It's
nice. Yeah.
harmonious.
Oh, that's great. Bringing it all together, helping everybody out bit by bit. Anyways.
She did that improv. That wasn't
did
even
that
planned.
improv, bitch.
Completely off the top of her head.
Oh man. Oh, see, Drew even says so handsome. See, look at that. So damn handsome.
Honestly,
Everybody's
Jake's
that.
level of handsomeness is one of the more common.
Oh, he's even hiding in
Yeah.
his nice jacket. Look
yeah.
at that.
Yeah, he's handsome
No
while
bad
hiding
poses.
about being handsome. Ninja mask.
Look at that.
Looking all
Ooh,
cool.
smolder. Oh dear. I love it so much.
You guys are too kind. Too kind.
Never. It's been so great. What has been one of your favorite moments that's happened in the show so far?
Oh my gosh.
Or top 3 if one's too many or too hard.
Even
One is less than 3.
even top 3 is tough, but God, and it's just the level of engagement we experienced while doing the episode. But the stones of sending,
Oh.
attuning those stones with my best friend Drew.
Best friend. Best friend.
Best friend.
That
He's
was
on there.
wonderful because we just went for it for I don't even know how long.
Oh, man, it was.
Wasn't keeping track, but just all the. And I think he made him do a sandwich, took a bite. Like, there was just so much going on. But that was just such a weird. Even Rial, wouldn't expect to have any kind of bond with anyone, let alone Thoricus motherfucking Onyx Heart.
Right.
So that just turned out to be such a weird little boop, on our timeline so far. It's like, okay, they're best friends. Rock and roll.
Yeah, I love that. Rocky talking. Hey, Rocky talking, my best friend.
Yeah, best friend,
Rocky.
best
friend. Roger that, best friend.
Best friend. Hey, best friend. Oh, it's so great. What about you, Bam? What's been one of your more recent favorite moments that's happened as the GM?
All right, I mentioned it on a recent podcast that I did as well, but it's because it's so worth mentioning. As a DM, you have to pretend that you're ready for everything. There's like this old joke that behind the screen is every answer to every question, but in reality, there's nothing. And then
I
it's
know,
just
I just saw
like,
your
that,
screen.
yeah,
There's nothing
yeah.
on
As you can see, it's just a
Literally
bunch of
nothing on
weed
there.
and ashtrays and pipes. But there is a gift as a DM where your players will do something that tells a better story in the moment than you ever could have considered in prep. And there's this weird, good D&D is not me telling a story and them acting out the parts I want them to, a good conversation between DM and player, where they're offering the story and I'm kind of offering the world and helping convey that message. And it was when we were in that crazy trap dungeon, and Tina just looked and she goes, I would like to use my action to cast off Thera's Dune as my god. And it was because Thera's June wanted her to kill her brother. And so, which she had recently found out was her brother, Divot. And so, which again is another not part of my design. That was something that came out of the natural storytelling that took place. But when Tina did that, as a DM, there's like, my job is to figure out that the rules can support that right at a moment's notice. And
Rules
I immediately
explained,
was
right?
like, yes, rules explained. I was like, I'm thinking of him like at home sharpening a knife, just like staring at the screen like, oh, you're gonna let her throw a gun away, huh? Let's look, what rule is that? I actually...
Takes that knife and stabs the edition with that rule. And pulls
And
up the page.
again,
Here it is.
that speaks to Abby being a newer player, because I feel like as a power gamey, I've played D&D my whole life. I tend to optimize my characters a little bit. A player, like I would, as a player, and I love playing D&D, I would never, as a cleric, consider getting rid of my god. That's literally your access to all your power. And so it was such a cool thing that I had never seen done in 28 years of D&D. And I was so proud of her. Like, as a guy that's like helping do a show, I was like, I can't believe she just did that. That's the most compelling thing I've ever seen. And then as a DM, being like blown away that my player came up with such a good choice. And then Brandon, as a friend, just seeing somebody get into the hobby in a way that's next level. That's like, that took me 15 years of playing to consider choices like that, and then another 5 to consider never doing them again. Like, it was that moment, dude. I talked about it on I believe that was with Late Night with Jess and Jam, D&D 420's little podcast. Definitely check out D&D 420. Those dudes are amazing. They were friendly, and we, like, right out the gate, they've just been super supportive and awesome, and I really love the guys. Jimmy and I talk way more than we probably should. And yeah, but I did, in that I also told that story, but it's only because, I hate to repeat myself, but it is because that was such a freaking like, whoa moment. And it wasn't me. Like, it's like, you would think like, oh my, as a DM, you have lots of toys. Like, I have little magic places for you to find, and when you find them, I want to show them to you. Ha 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 ha. And it's like, that's not how that situation went. It was totally, my player came up with the most brilliant story decision, and we all trust each other enough to just go there. And so it was like, man, at that moment, I could have taken every note that I'd made to prepare for that and thrown all of them away, because no longer am I in the realm of anything I'd considered.
Right.
And from that came, in my opinion, some of our better story-driven action moments. And so, like, Divot walking through with the staff holding back the magic of the place, like, the visual that I see when I went back and watched that episode, it was like, I was like, yes, that's the picture that's supposed to be painted. And we have great paint colors in our players, and so it was magic, man. I mean, I do this stuff because I love it, and it's moments like that make me always come back. So
yeah, that's awesome. That was a really amazing moment.
Loved it.
You mentioned trust with the group. You really can tell how much trust you all have, because you literally, anyone will throw something out and everyone's there to catch each other, which is awesome. It's such a positive thing to do.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that.
And I didn't know that about Abby either. That's so fucking cool.
Here we have a fun question, a technical question for Brandon and the team. Is there a plan for some custom channel point rewards?
So yes, director dude Mike Kim, phenomenal guy, also has a Twitch channel. Definitely check it out. They do a show called Spotlight On. And they talk about some really interesting theater topics. Fantastic guy, big supporter of the show from the very beginning. So we love you, director dude. But yes, as far as the custom channel points and stuff, I'd be remiss not to mention how broad this project has become. And so I do apologize for some things like this where I feel like I should have done more. This is one of those. I think the Twitch viewer experience right now is the one that I am the most connected to, because of moments like this where I can talk with you and look at you and say things, and we can communicate back and forth with each other. And so it's because I like Twitch so much that I want to really optimize the Twitch viewer experience. So yes, things like that. We're almost finishing out our emote slots. We have another emote right now pending review, which is built into some of the rituals of the show, which I'm a sucker for a good ritual. But yes, absolutely, director dude, there will be. That was probably the longest answer to that question. I am high. I rolled just as many joints as if we were going to do a full show. So it's like I have a task set before me, and I am intending to achieve it. So yes. Channel point, yeah, we're gonna do some cooler stuff with channel points. Overall, the Twitch viewer experience is something I'm really focusing on over this next month. because it is right now my favorite way for people to encounter the show. So, yep, and yes, I am highest.
He is highest.
Shout out
very true.
to Crits. Crits started this game initially, but while during the show, the chat will play a game called Who is Highest.
Yes.
And it's become my favorite thing when I go back and rewatch, because 9 times out of 10, you guys are nailing it. Like, it's like, yeah, you are right. That is.
There's always a thing. There's something that happens. Like, oh, that person. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's right. He soon
Zone
will
out.
be. Pork chop.
Oh dear. Oh dear. But that's also it. Like, I mean, the whole point of the show, right, is you're playing you're drinking. Wow. Who's the highest now?
Let's
I had
Nicole's highest.
one thing. You're smoking weed and playing D&D. So that alone, you have to have a certain level of trust with each other because you're going to these vulnerable places anyways, right? So watching you all trust each other and go with whatever idea is going to happen depending on what he throws at you is amazing to see. So what is that like? Like just being in that, even that, like the popcorn where it's jumping around. What's that like being in that?
It's terrifying. It's terrifying, but in a good way. And as far as like the weed goes, it helps with the immersion, like being in the now, and especially in your characters now, because you do have like the two brains thinking at the same time, which is weird. Like,
Or
I know
three
this.
if you're Brandon.
Or three, or
That's how many
hundreds
things I have
of
to smoke right
brains.
now.
But yeah, I mean, it's terrifying, but in a good way, because it's just like that character in that real encounter. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I love that we have been doing the Popcorn Initiative for that reason.
That's cool.
Especially like, I always feel bad handing it off to someone, especially at top of initiative, because then it goes and they're like, oh, okay.
My favorite, I think I've seen Drew do it a couple times where he'll be like, no. And they're like, I mean, I pass it to somebody else. It's like, yeah, no. Popcorn is, it's a very seldom, I mean, it's not of my own design. We tested it in a game. I played for campaign for 2.5 years, and we tested quite a few rules through that system. And Popcorn was one I really liked, but we're building this new thing for Ganjario, which is the team attack system.
Right, yes.
And so Popcorn kind of came out of that necessity. In order to set up a team attack, you're going to need to have some control over the initiative. Now, any good player, and to be honest, any good DM worth their salt, if the players are going to use something against a monster, those monsters or allies are going to use it against the players too. You know, and so it becomes a tactical breakdown. You're seeing it now, especially in this last battle sequence with the dragon. The dragon gave the turn to Thoricus, expecting Thoricus to ruin it,
Right.
to
Yeah.
take the
Yes.
shot, to attack him, to call his posturing. And so there's a new thing at play with Popcorn where it's
Right.
like, if you want somebody to make a mistake, sometimes it's better to give them the opportunity to do it. So, yeah, and I do like Popcorn for that reason, because there is a little bit of, you don't know exactly when you're going to go. And so you're kind of like, now? No, it's going to be late.
It is.
Like it too when someone's like, can I throw it to them? No, maybe not. We have a question out here for Jake. So what made you choose your race class, subclass, and how did you come up with your backstory?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
That was part in the actual build of the character. Actually, I don't think he was an elf, nor was he a high elf.
No.
The real Authorvon we took from was a deformed plowman who worked the fields.
Well, there you go.
He was
Okay.
disfigured, and that's why he kept to himself and nobody liked him. So a lot of the backstory, it was just back and forth with me and Bam. We just kind of built it together. He would give me like the first bone of the skeleton. I'd squeeze in some ligaments in a joint onto the next bone. So it really was just this back and forth with Bam and I, and that made the process like that much more special. It's fun. Like, this character is something we created. We had, the old leftover clay from some other
Right.
Real
Yeah.
Authorvon somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But we just took that and made it into something entirely anew.
Your
and
child.
Our child.
Your child.
Yeah,
it's our
together.
child.
What a sad child we have.
Aw.
Burning
Real's
churches.
back.
at such a
Burning
young age.
churches.
Proud of him.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was.
Shooting dragons.
It's basically like, especially with a newer player, you as a DM don't want to like, here's a character and play him. You want them to have investment in it, and so it's like I felt a little. Anytime you bring in a new player, you kind of feel obligated to just like try to show them some of your favorite parts, and some of my favorite parts of building a character are these kind of like tortured backstories where you have some clear goals and ambitions, like the story of learning how to love people. That's a beautiful story to play no matter what character you are. And so it's like I tried seeding those opportunities, and then he would make some choices along those lines, and I would be like, okay, cool. Okay, here's this. So it's like Ergon came out of that. It was like, okay, well, sad background, held prisoner. Okay, well, who's going to hold him prisoner? Well, he has a cloister scholar background. Okay, so he worked at a cloister. He was at like basically a big library. Okay, and then it kind of the story started. That would be like all of a sudden we'd be sending stuff back and forth, and the story was just starting to write itself, and it was like, okay, cool, now it's ready to go, And so it was, it's a treat working with a new player for that reason, because it's like it's all new, like all their there's so many options in D&D, and for a new player, sometimes that can be a little overwhelming. And so as somebody who's played a lot, it's like a great joy to be able to be like, no, like yeah, there's a lot of choices, but like here's kind of how it works and the stuff. And so yeah, it's and like I said, Rial's tortured backstory is just like.
Such a tortured soul.
So tortured.
For a storyteller, it's easy to pull from. Just tortured past.
Tortured past. Check.
Isn't this sad?
Sad person. Check.
But it was great, like working hand in hand too, because Bam never made it feel like I was on training wheels. He was like the dad who just kind of got his hands at your side, letting you pedal on your own. You're like, I'm doing it. It was more like that than being just like coddled in a direction.
Okay.
It always felt like a very mutual thing, and I think it's benefited from it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Working together, creating a character. I love that. And so, Bam, since you've played many versions of this game, talk a little bit about how this version you've been doing now, and how was that to learn? Is it easier to learn the version you're currently playing?
So yeah, 5th edition D&D is where we're at now. So you can follow the timeline through a lot of the books that we have present here. We actually have some pretty crazy, like old school Red Book, 1st edition Dungeons and Dragons, 2nd edition. I've played through them all. 5th edition is absolutely the most accessible for that reason.
Wow.
Like I call it analysis paralysis. It's when you have so many choices that you can't make any decisions.
Oh, yes.
And so 5th edition has streamlined everything. Now, a lot of people would argue that it's taken away a level of customization that the old editions have, and I might agree. I think, however, being able to facilitate a player like Jake, who is now making these like pro level D&D, I think the proof's in the pudding. Like the play that I see in 5th edition tends to be happier. Granted, my brother, not pork chop, but Jeremy, will not play anything but 2nd edition, and he's totally like, that's awesome. I have no problem with that. I don't tend to give any creed to like one edition is better than the other.
Sure.
Whichever one you have the most fun playing, play that one.
I like that.
And so I think for newer players, and what's kind of cool is this show has reached a little bit of a newer audience to people that haven't played or maybe might be interested. 5th edition is so welcoming in that aspect. So I would say don't let the fact that there are rule books and stuff dissuade you. The game plays smoother than I think it ever has. And so in that way that it's so welcoming, you're getting more people playing, and people are starting to realize like, oh, it's not just like this niche thing for people that need to escape or like whatever these old weird dumb stereotypes were. Everybody should play D&D. Everybody. And 5th edition makes that more possible than ever. So for that, I love 5th edition.
That's awesome. And speaking on that too, there are a lot more people playing. Do you find that to be true?
Oh yeah. And I mean, big ups to, you can't really mention the hobby without saying the name Critical Role. What Matthew Mercer and those guys have done, it was never seen before. But through that, people are seeing this game and they're like, oh wait, that's what this is? Like and the internet allows you to see it. And so it's just like those guys have, like, they're selling merchandise and pop figures and stuff. So it's like they've made it, you can buy their stuff at Hot Topic. Like they've made it to that next level of culture. And so thanks to them and a lot of easier access to the game now, you're seeing a lot more people playing. And the reason that you're seeing it is because once you start playing it, you can't stop. So it's like once somebody starts playing D&D, you'll know about it pretty soon because they'll start telling you about it.
So all the time.
Yes.
That's all you can talk about.
Yes.
That's so great. I remember when I was like, I told you guys this before we started the show, when I'd go through like a bookstore and I'd find the D&D book and I'd like flip through it. I still have not played. I know I will play. Brandon and I've already talked about it.
She will play.
I will play. But I remember like looking at it like, ooh, spells. And then I go get a real witchcraft book. Well, real, but it's fine. Which is awesome.
Get my real witchcraft.
Real one. But I just find it all so very fun and such a cool thing. And I'm glad that more people are opening up to it and playing it. And even like tabletop, not necessarily in like virtual worlds. It's like tabletop, which is cool. Like hands-on, which you guys will be soon one day.
Yeah.
Not in the virtual world.
Yes.
It'll be my first time all over again.
Oh my God.
I've only learned this
Feels
game
like the
on
first
Roll20.
Digital.
So
Right, yeah.
Once we get this live,
You don't even
I'm gonna
know.
need some crash courses before we go. I'm
It's
probably
so much
still gonna
better.
look like big doofus, but I'm okay with that.
So much
I'm
better.
learning.
That's fine.
With all the
Maybe-
new people, I'm at the front lines of the newbies.
Maybe we'll do some tutorial videos on how to play in real life. We have a fun question here for Brandon.
Yeah.
You're an incredible storyteller. What is your performance background? I love
Thank
talking
you,
about
Poach
it.
for show. That's my dear friend PJ. Thanks so much for
PJ.
making it out, bro. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm honestly, this is like a real like raw confession, Brandon edition. I'm trying to learn to take compliments and to just at least accept them, be grateful for them, and then move on. I have not been great about that in the past. So thank you. That is a very nice thing to say, and it made my heart cockles warm. My performance background, I have been an actor for most of my life. My first role was Santa Claus in a little play called Shape It Up Santa at Helen Marie Smith, 5th grade. It was about Santa needing to lose weight. So as you can see, it's been a lifetime thing. But no, that did it. And then I went to an academy for math and science, and then we kind of made a drama club because there wasn't one. And then I was lucky enough to go to Palo Verde High School, which had a huge, massive theater program.
Palo.
And so I started doing a lot
Coronado?
of, ooh, look out, get out of here. So I did a lot of Shakespeare. I had phenomenal teachers, like life-altering, affecting teachers in high school that kind of put this thing in me. And I was like, you know what? After high school, I was like, I'm going to try this, man. I'm going to like go for the thing. So I did a ton of community theater. Just a ton of it. I've worked with Nicole so many times. We have a movie you can rent on Amazon Prime called Scare Me. It is
Scare
not
Me on Amazon Prime.
it is not. You can rent it easily.
Not a sponsor.
It's not sold out.
not sold
But
Okay.
like Mark's watching this. Anyway,
Mark's
sorry
like, "Hey,
guys,
guys."
this is becoming super. But yes, so I did a ton of community theater. Started branching into film. I have been blessed enough, being a Las Vegas boy, to work on the Strip for several years. I was in a show called Raiding the Rock Vault for 3 years, which was just like these like actual super group of old rock stars from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and just like the bass player from Bon Jovi, the drummer from Asia, and it was just like the guitar player from Heart. Like it was just incredible. And then when that show got rid of their acting roles and the show kind of got smaller, it was like right around that same time that Antonia reached out to me from Tournament of Kings. So it's like that. It's that dinner. If you don't know Tournament, it's the dinner show with the knights and Merlin, and I play Mordred, the evil fire wizard in the show at the Excalibur Hotel, and that was the little piece about me when I was a kid. It was the show that made me want to be an actor. When I first saw it, I was like, "That's a job that people can have." And then here we were, 28 years later, something like actually doing the job. So. That's it, man. Yeah, I've been really lucky to work with a lot of world-class performers, and I think you're seeing the fruits of that in this show. That's where you find people like Sandy Stein, who can make the music that guy makes, which changes everything and ups the story for all of us, myself included, telling the story when I hear his tracks. You find guys like Sandy, like you find those people just arting. That's where art hard comes from, just like arting as hard as they can, just like bleeding it into the streets. And so I cultivated some of those fantastic people and made them come play D&D with me every week. And that's what you're seeing. It's you see it in that love you spoke about, I think comes from that.
Yeah.
Traditionally, like a theater background, there is just like this familial energy that builds quickly on something that means something. And this does mean something to us. And I think it even surprises us as it goes, like just how much the show and this experience and each other have become, especially through all this madness.
Right.
It's been a rock and a light. And D&D has a tendency to do that too. So I think that's also a little bit toward the thing that we also love, this Dungeons and Dragons game, with the right people. But yeah, that's again the longest answer ever to my performance background. We really rounded the bases there.
It's the best, but it all brings it back together. You're doing Tournament of Kings and Dungeons and Dragons. It's so like, it goes together, right?
Yeah.
It fits well.
Yeah.
We have a fun question. You guys will know more about it than I will. If you could create a 5th edition character sheet to represent yourself in the real world, what do you think your stats would be?
Wow.
Trick loaded question.
Yeah.
This dude's setting a powder keg on the ground and walking away. All right. So the real answer to this question is probably embarrassingly low, and like when you start thinking about your D&D character, a lot of people in real life will be like, I have an 18 charisma or intelligence, and it's like you don't. And so unfortunately, like in real life terms, I'm probably like, if I'm anything, I'm straight 10s, just like no bonus to anything, but not. I'm
feel
not
like you'd have
exceptionally
bonuses.
bad at anything. Maybe my health was like bad for a while, so maybe like a lower constitution, maybe a bump to charisma, because just like
just a bump.
like you get a little. But it's nothing, no bonuses, no exceptional magic items. I'm just.
I feel like this is false. I feel like you'd absolutely have some of these things. Go look in the mirror again.
Watch WeeDnD on YouTube. It is a testament to your skills. New word. And a testament. A testament.
A single testament.
What about you, Jake?
Oh man, I don't know.
Dude, I stole your answer before answer what
They
you would
have
think.
the same
Think
thing.
about, your guy.
It's on the same. I'm in the same boat as you.
Tortured souls.
Mr. 16 Charisma's trying to be
jacket.
bashful right now.
I'm in the same boat where I don't enjoy compliments. I'm just like, thank you, and then so I don't know. Everything's pretty low. Intelligence, all right. At least I get another bump of charisma. I'll take a bump.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Look at you.
More than
Look at you
guys.
straight wearing
Okay, I actually
that
feel like
jacket
the
right
chat should be doing something. Hey, Brenna's here. What's up, girl? I feel like you guys are really hard on yourselves, so someone else needs to do your cards for you.
All right. I'll do you the card bam if you do mine.
Oh,
Have we lost Jake?
together.
I'm following in chat right now.
Jake, have you been muted?
Jake's
Jake,
minus
unmute.
fan. See this? It's happening
Oh,
in
no.
real time. Aren't you glad you have this
Yay,
level of unfettered access to the process?
things.
Is that
Am I just frozen again? But it's just.
Just epic freeze.
Jake? Even in
Somehow he's
studio,
frozen.
Jake freezes.
In the most epic poses, Jake freezes. Oh no. Maybe.
Is he gonna? Yeah, wiggle your little guys there. Wiggle, just wiggle.
Someone says that Jake's cha, is that charisma, is 20. Cha.
Oh yeah.
Very kind
See,
of
I really don't know what I'm doing, which is fine. I
Plus
will
5.
one day.
I'll give you guys. Yeah, so like a 20 in anything would be like the most accept. Like not to say that Jake isn't. I'm just letting you know. It's like a 20 intelligence. Like Einstein is considered to be kind of like a base for like what a 20. You have to be like, or like Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh.
Like it's like
Leo.
it's and a lot of people, what we find through these posts, have a tendency to overinflate some of their statistics.
Great. Bam, we have a question for you. I love how certain D&D novels bring in old characters for cameos. Is there a chance we'll see some guest appearances this or next campaign?
Yes, Arlen, shout out, fellow Tournament of Kings performer. He plays King Arthur, so he and I go at it from time to time.
The King Arthur.
But we're gonna set all that aside right now. But yes, what's great by what we're doing right now, the show you guys are watching, the digital format, is this, we call it the prologue to Gunjaria, the campaign setting of my design that we'll be playing in when everybody's at this table and we can do the show the right way. So this prologue is actually giving us an opportunity to write the myths of the world before this new world. So I think you will absolutely, anybody who spent any time with us in this prologue, will absolutely find some fun Easter eggs and things and seeds. There's some that hasn't been decided yet. Martha. I do love Martha, dear. But yes, it absolutely is one of those things where I will, as the world unfolds, some of these decisions haven't yet been made. But I will absolutely let that roll into the new world. I think as a storyteller, as a player, that's always my favorite, is to see, after I've done a campaign, if I'm in the world that character was in, and watching the effect my other character had on the world, but not being that character. That's like a weird thing that you kind of only get in D&D. So yeah, I like that experience. And so as a storyteller, I think I'll kind of lean into that as well. And you will see some of the great reoccurring bits, jokes, characters from this prologue to Gunjaria in this new world.
I mean, how could you not? There's so many good things that have happened. How could you not?
How could you not?
You have to bring things back. How long did it take to how long did all this world take to make? I can read.
Great question, Smoked Out Turtle. So the show is over a year in development. However, thank you, Drew.
Drew!
You just handing him out like he's our biggest conductor. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's because I'm high in real time. You're
Real
watching it happen in
time.
real time. I forgot what I was saying.
How long did the world take?
Oh, the world took forever. God, no. No, it's been, we're coming up probably on 2 years now that I've been building and tweaking. I reopened what the ending of the former world was going to be to what happens in this campaign. So my characters are helping me write what's going to happen. I had all that decided, but I thought this was more exciting and would be true to the D&D experience. So we are actually witnessing the events that lead up to this new world. And so the things that they do and the choices they make will factor into how those things unfold.
Oh, that's so cool. That's such a fun element of this whole thing. It's just being created.
I'm very excited about
I'm
it.
so excited. I can't wait. I mean, I will wait, but I can't wait.
But you're going to have to.
I'm gonna have to wait. Before we get to, because we're going on really good things, I don't want to forget these questions that we have. So we have Heather from Facebook has asked, you are all clearly a lot of fun and entertaining to watch on the show. I was curious about all of your backgrounds as performers, or really any background you may have in entertainment, and what else do you guys do outside of the show? Thank you, Heather. Good question.
You take it, Jake. I just talked about it.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm already done. I'm gonna light back up.
DM that question.
You hold this
That was
down.
something you
I'm
didn't
gonna
know.
bong.
Jake's turn.
For me, it started in high school theater and then into community theater. I started doing tech my freshman year for a bunch of the shows in high school, and then from there just kind of got a little boost.
Ooh.
Actually got on stage, small parts.
Jake, come over here.
Oh,
Come over here
Oh,
and sit in my
switch.
chair.
I'm doing a swibbity swabbity.
live switch, guys.
So do I have to answer as you now?
Yeah, you're now me.
Okay.
Oh, this is so fun. So Jake's gonna be. Oh, this is gonna get real
All right.
confusing.
we just switch things up. That's what we do.
It's true. So you were in tech, and then you hopped on stage.
I
Got
did.
a little fun stuff going on.
Mhm.
That's great.
But yeah, I went into community theater, which is where I met you amazing people through various shows like throughout the years, and we just always stayed in touch and kept in tune with like creative projects, and it's a beautiful thing. I owe that to theater 100%, and I'll always value it for that.
Yeah.
But other than that, community stuff, just some personal film projects, just messing around with friends.
Yeah.
And had a quick stint on a strip show. Wasn't Tournament of Kings, but did Evil Dead for the better part of a year
Yes.
before
so
it
did
sadly left us.
I. Gosh. What? You're the only one of the group that hasn't done that show. That's awesome. That's really fun. And everyone's background really shows when you are creating these characters and these stories and where you're pulling from and all of that amazing stuff you bring to the show really shows through, which is awesome. Another question we have, what would you say to someone wanting to start, but with no idea how, D&D and weed? And this is from your friends, the podcast friends.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
You want to give a shout out?
I'm just gonna be with you here.
All right,
This is how
all
we're
right.
doing this.
This is
So this is from our boy Pip from across the pond. I was a guest on his Forever DM podcast. They do a show called Clash of Quests over also on Twitch. It's a pretty cool concept. 6 different DMs rotating DM role. Definitely check them out. They're at I got their time here. 2300 UTC is when they're at. Like I said, a little different time wise. But what would I say to somebody to start with, but has no idea how? What would I say to you, Jake?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I would say there's a lot of really great resources online. We're going to try to add to that as well. Yeah, I would say if you're playing, if you want to learn to play, go ahead and watch an actual play. Hey, watch WeeDnD Tuesdays at 8 o'clock on Twitch. But if you want to DM, I can't recommend Matt Colville running the game. It's a YouTube channel. Matt Colville running the game. All DMs, even if you've been doing it forever, should watch. He's great. And for
what about weed?
For weed, man, take it slow. Like, don't rush. The time effects for a new user are way different than people who've smoked for a long time. So if you watch somebody like me or Jake or the rest of the cast smoking in the show, and you think, oh, I could smoke that much, we've been doing it a while.
Yeah.
So don't
make my
necessarily,
mistake.
try to keep up with us. We appreciate people playing along at home, but yes, we are professionals.
Professional weed smokers.
So for a new user, what's great if you're in a legal state, which we are, you can go to a dispensary and ask them any questions you have, and they're all very knowledgeable. So I would say absolutely reach out to other professionals, and it's great. Come in like you're getting into really hot water. Just dip your toe in it first. No need to jump right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, and there's tons of new things now to try and ways to do it.
Absolutely.
Great, shameless Twitch channel plug.
It's actually not. I just really like them. And he sent me the message, and I said, you know what, dude? Like, I like what you guys are doing. I was a guest on his the Forever DM podcast. I was his first guest, if I'm not mistaken. And I really like what they're doing. And I did make a note, but my handwriting is so bad that that's
It's
as authentic
true.
as I could read it.
It is really bad. He wrote some of these out for me, and it's been fun translating.
They're bad.
I like Brenna. Hello, I'm a professional weed smoker and make 'em up doer.
Make 'em under.
Yes. Oh, I love it. That's a great question. Okay, we've got a couple more from our little the chat. You guys are hilarious.
This is good.
There is a chair for you now if you
Here,
want
please.
this chair. There's two chairs.
I can't do this to your knees.
There's more
I'll
than
pony
one.
up.
We have chairs here.
Just get my weed and
Oh gosh, while they're doing that. So here's another question for you. I think it's so important what you guys are doing. Not only is the game itself wildly entertaining, as well as your engaging performances, but I also love the storytelling and the world you create for the audience. Is there anything we can do to support the show?
We both were like,
This was from PJ. What does it say that?
That's PJ McCobb, man.
PJ McCobb.
Great guy. Thank you, man. Yes. Supporting the show. We have a lot of social medias. Obviously, we are on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Reddit. Although I don't know how long that's gonna last. We're around. Following us, helping us out, boosting the comments, likes, and stuff on anything we post helps us cut through the algorithm, which just helps us get this in front of more people. And we believe all that's stopping the world from watching this is just having not seen it yet. Because I just love it. I love these
It's so
people.
great.
So.
Really, I watch it every week.
Yeah. So the best way, like if it's like financial support, like subscribe here on Twitch. If you sub, we get a percentage of that. We will be setting up a Patreon here pretty soon for anybody that wants to invest in that way. But overall, just to tell your friends, just share it. Like the biggest thing, the biggest obstacle we have right now is just getting the signal out. And so any way that you can do that, man, and it's like the people that don't think we don't see you. It's like so appreciated. Nicole is a great example of that. But it's just if you like this thing, just tell people about it, man, and let them come meet these awesome people. I can't help but like watching them do anything, and in this case, it's a really cool thing that I love. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. There's so many fun ways to support and just check out and just get the word out there. That's one of the biggest things. So that's amazing, and more opportunities to do that. And you're going to create some more things so that people can look into the characters, right? Like pages for the characters.
That's
themselves.
right. Yeah, we're going to be setting up a wiki. Yeah, we're going to, and just to help, especially anybody that wants to look a little deeper into like some of the lore and stuff. It's all written out. As a DM, trust me, there's tons of information that I have that you'll never see. And so a wiki is my way to be like, oh, and by the way, that's who this thing was. So, but yeah, no, that's a project very, very near and dear. Like I said, I think the Twitch experience is kind of my main focus over this next month. But a wiki is right alongside in that area. Just for, hey man, this thing's as deep as you want to jump in. So we'll facilitate that by getting the information out there.
I think that's great. I mean, there's so much to share already. You've got tons of really cool artwork you're already sharing, and just to kind of keep that going and incorporate this into where did this piece of art come from? Well, this was the thing that happened in the show, and da 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 da. Like, it's just such a fun thing to just continue on.
Yeah.
That's great. What a great question.
It's the best thing.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Thank you.
this is from Crits and the Tantrums, who
Crits.
was here. Hello, you're still here.
You still around, Crits?
So this show is a blast and has such incredible artistic potential with all the worlds and characters you are building. I'm curious if you will be having merchandise available for people to buy.
Oh.
Yeah, real stuff. We've been getting some messages about that recently. Obviously that's a direction we would like to go. We have some really great branding and imagery that was designed by Ed Palomino, who's our amazing design guy, did all the layouts for the show and stuff. Phenomenal guy. But yeah, I would say keep an eye out here coming up pretty soon. Thank you so much, Smoked Out Turtle, for them cheers. Pork Chop, we see you guys.
Oh my gosh, so much support on
what's
chat.
going on?
Oh my gosh,
It's so
I'm just like,
Right over our
it's
shoulders.
happening right now. So,
Oh, Drew too,
Yeah.
guys. So
Yeah,
much
yeah.
support.
Someone should give that guy an emoji.
Hype,
so
hype, hype.
yes, yes, there will be. I think we'll probably be starting with some like inside joke T-shirt kind of stuff that kind of fits the vibe. If you guys have any things that you would like to see, we have a rare opportunity here to be like, hey, people who might be interested in buying the shirts, let us know. And the WeeDnD Hub Facebook group is like the best place. We're all kind of hanging out there, dropping fire memes and
Oh
having
my
a
gosh,
good time.
they make
so.
me laugh so much.
It's so much fun.
my favorite thing.
It's so fun.
That's
So, yeah.
great. So merchance is coming.
It's coming. It is
Yes,
coming. I promise.
I love that. That's gonna be so fun. I like hats. I'm a hat collector. Just gonna put that out there. Just put that out there. Collect hats. All right. Here's the last one that I have. This one is from Gray Lotus from the Twitch board.
Hey,
That's one of our
Twitch
peeps.
bud.
Gray Lotus.
Gray
So-
Lotus. He said he was going to be watching the Golden Knights game, so that's why I
that's
sent
okay.
the question.
Fair
That's
enough.
all
Fair
right.
enough.
Golden Knights. I heard that they scored earlier. That's why Drew did a fun thing in the chat.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
go Knights.
Yeah.
So lore-wise, what are the biggest differences between how a wizard would access the magic of Gunjaria versus how a sorcerer or warlock, and why?
Oh.
All right,
Fun
so
question.
that's a deep cut question.
very
I'm sorry to
excited
lean
for
in
this
on you,
question.
Jay.
No, please.
No,
Get on
so
me.
the easiest way I can answer this is
A
right
Brian
now.
hat. That'd be so
Ooh, a Brian
good.
hat. You're right, Pork Chop, bro. That's stop the presses. No,
Word.
but the best way that I can clarify what Ganjaria is, as far as the idea that I built the world around, is so something happens, and the connection to magic that has been in the fantasy lands of Everendel and Forgotten Realms and the D&D multiverse, that balance is thrown off. The connection to the weave, which is one of the ways to explain where magic comes from. It's like this river of magic that you draw from that's in the universe and is guided by gods. And I've broken that, and I'm utilizing this magical essence that emanates from this plant in the Feywild called ganja.
Ooh.
And so in my world, rather than some hypothetical imaginary stream that we draw magic from, it's an actual real thing, and these master nugs link around the world and create this flow of magic. So a wizard is still going to have to train to access that magic the way he would in D&D to figure out how to work magic and studiously approach it. A sorcerer would be born with access to that power the same way they would in the other world, and warlocks will still sell themselves to powerful cosmic beings, which there will be a lot of, to get control of that same power. So whereas I'm not redefining the way that people necessarily access magic, it's where the root of that magic comes from. And it's part of the whole new world that I've built, where the Feywild has mostly taken over the world, and we're dealing with some kind of like crazier high magic fun stuff. So
Sounds exciting.
That's so. What a great answer to that
can't wait.
question. That's so fun. I can't. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. It's gonna be so great.
They want us to roll some dice.
Oh, roll some. Oh,
I have advantage.
nicely.
It's on camera. 18. That's a hit. I don't care who you are.
So what's the four?
So, all right. So here, we'll explain it real quick. In 5th edition, normally if I was going to attack you, I would just roll 120, okay? But sometimes you have a thing called advantage or disadvantage. Now, that's
Okay.
when this other dice comes in. So, if I was attacking with advantage, I would take the highest of those two, which was a crit!
Well, you know.
Live crit hit. You can't write that. That just happened.
It did. It did
So-
happen.
Yeah, it's
I
right here.
wouldn't
I'm
lie
not
to
even
any
gonna
of you.
touch it.
I
It's
wouldn't
18
lie.
Anyway.
It's literally right
We're
here.
back to that. So yeah, so if we had advantage, you would take the highest. If you had disadvantage, you would take the lowest, which in this case would still be good. So
Yeah,
It's pretty
shit.
good. I mean,
That's what you rolled the
18-20.
first time.
So-
what I started with. So here we are. Here we are. Thank you guys. Seriously,
That's
so
so
much.
good.
Like I can tell you that people putting their actual money into this show is something that I take very seriously. It is like something. It's because of you guys that like. I do pretty much not stop working on this thing. I love this thing, and I want it to keep connecting to the people who it seems to be connecting with. So thank you guys. I just want you to know it's not like we're like taking that money and going and buying weed. It's I mean, we'll get there. But for right now, every dollar
Baby
that
steps.
comes into the show is going right back into building the show. And I can't emphasize enough how amazing the show is going to be when we're all sitting at this table that was built for this show, that with the people that we built this show to do in the world that I've spent quite a bit of time building for this show. So like you said, that love that's there, that's present all through it. So thank you guys. Like I said, it's beyond my idea that people would donate the way that they have toward the show. And I super appreciate it, and I don't ever want that to go unspoken. So thank you guys. Thank you, Moobot, for
for blowing up
Moobot.
the screen sometimes.
Oh,
Love you.
My brother's in love with Moobot, but it's never gonna happen, Greg.
Oh, sorry, Greg.
Sorry, poor
so
child.
sad.
Sorry, poor
Pork,
child.
pork and moo. Just
Pork and moo. Yeah.
don't work. Don't work.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, what's up, Evil Honk?
Hi. Hello. Hello. I really feel like people are being so supportive because of how much you give in the show. You are all so open when you're just such honest performers, and you give so much when you do the show. Like, we're just part of it, and your energy lets us come in, even though it's all virtual. So if you can have that in a virtual world, I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Blessing.
It's these guys, man. Yeah. Yeah, I try to explain. It's like playing D&D is hard enough. Playing D&D online is hard. Trying to create a compelling story that's worth not just playing but watching at the same time through looking at boxes and worrying about stepping on each other's audio and random problems. It's just one of those things. It's what they do is no easy task. A lot of people sit back and will look at like Critical Roles or other actual plays and be like, oh, I could do better than that. I can't explain to you how much weight these guys carry, especially in this format. And they're all stars in my book, dude. Like, they're amazing.
That's really cool. I was just looking into the chats. This is so exciting.
New to D&D. Just picked up
Cool.
the first books.
Oh, we've got some books here
Well
We
done.
do.
on the table.
Every
All the
edition.
books. I've been looking through them because I don't know what I'm doing.
Maximum Hype. We have, big ups on the hype trains.
Wow.
That have
Yeah,
been
so
going down.
much
That was
hype
That's
trains.
been
It's
like
awesome.
a fun. Oh, are we hype training right now? I couldn't
Wait,
even
yeah,
see the
it's
bar
up there at
so
the
low.
top.
We're at 5?
Five?
Holy Five levels of hype! We're hyping! We're so hyped! Wow! 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 That's what it looks like.
My exercise
man.
for the day.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Sorry, chat.
We
Sorry,
blew
chat.
up the
know.
volume there
That was all
because the hype
improv.
was so high.
That was not planned.
Hype will do that to you.
So great. Oh my gosh. I'm crying a little because I'm laughing.
Oh, that was a blast.
Ah,
That's what hype is like in real time.
in real time.
Choo
Choo
choo.
choo. Oh God.
Ding 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 ding.
So funny.
Dirty Davy. We hope you're feeling better, Dirty
Yes,
Davy.
yes, please.
Yeah. Mwah.
Oh, all the love. So much
All
love.
love.
So much love. Oh, it's that was terrifying. It was. I was
Sorry,
scared
Bojo,
in
for
the
sure.
moment. Oh man, that's what we wanted to do.
Sorry, Isaac. Sorry, chat.
Oh man,
They'll be like, and that's when people stopped watching.
and that's when everyone left.
The final behind the greens.
I can't. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that was fun. Channeling
Man.
Brian. Brian. Oh, Brian. He's such a good boy, Brian. So something else I wanted to touch on is just how much it has grown from the beginning. So where everything started and where it is now. Like all the fun rituals, lighters up, all the fun things that have just continued to grow and just keep getting better. Things you've been on podcasts now, like you've done some really cool things. So tell me about how that's been. What's that like?
Dude, it's been cool. The D&D, like the creator community is one of those things that like they're all exceptional people for the most part. Like the people that are taking it to the next step and trying to like create in this world that I've found. I had like maybe one or two weird encounters with people.
Okay.
But overall, extremely pleasant. Like I shout out Jimmy from D&D 420 all the time, just because it was like we just jumped right in. Like we didn't have to do the weird like, hey, I'm trying to like you guys are doing kind of. It was just like, no, what are you guys doing? Cool. How can I help? Cool. Do you want to collaborate? You want to do something together? Yeah, that'd be great. Here's some ideas that I have. Here's some stuff. Can you listen to my thing? Yeah, I think that's great. Like we'll bounce notes and stuff off each other. It's fantastic. Collaborative, creative environments. As a theater creator, you know, it goes. Forever. It's the rituals come from. I get a chance after the fact to watch what we do and I get I watch it on Twitch so I can watch the chat as well because it's such an important thing. And like I see like that wave, and now that we have these emotes and it like I gotta say, man, it's like when we roll a crit and then like chat blows up with Brian the Crocodiles and crits hits and Lord of the Lost Times out there throwing crit sips out. We're all hydrating and. I mean, dude, it's like, who doesn't want to be a part of that? And that's the idea. I just want this to be a place where you don't have to smoke weed. You don't have to be a D&D player. You don't have to know anything about this. I want it to be a place that's just fun to come and hang out. And so that's something that's super important, man, is that it's like fun to hang out.
Absolutely. It always is. It always is.
I can speak. It does. It feels that way in the chat.
Look what
and
we just
watching
did.
it. Yeah, look what just happened.
That's what life is like.
Everyone's saying it. Well, not everyone, but you did get a shout out about your air guitar with the screen. It was great. DM screen.
Yeah, is that gonna be my new thing?
That's
the dude that does the air
way.
guitar with the DM screen.
Oh yeah, that
You
guy.
gonna get gifts.
We hate that guy. Oh, that dude? Yeah, no, we hate that guy.
Okay. Oh no. I love that. We did get a hydration check. We got some of that stuff going
My
on.
water's empty, bro.
Oh no. Mine's not.
Don't use me as an example, kids.
Ever. No. I'm
Make
kidding.
sure you always have some water with you. Hydration is very key.
It's true for multiple reasons. For life, we're mostly made of water.
I'm like amped still from that hype, dude.
They're so hyped
How am I supposed to just sit here and
run
talk?
around and just do things and run. Oh, so funny. Oh god. I'm so afraid of hype trains. This is what I'm gonna do at home now. Every time a hype train happens, I'm just gonna run around my house.
All the cats and
cats
dogs
just
in the
gonna-
world are going to be terrified.
It's true. My house will be like, "What's happening? I don't understand. Why are we running?" It's a desert out there. It is. It is a desert out there.
It's true.
This is so.
Here, the water.
Oh, off-screen water. Thank you, Stephanie. Love my
magic.
life.
Stephanie. She's in the chat. She's the best.
She's out there.
In
Steffi
the
Poo.
chat, Steffi Poo.
Love you.
Yeah.
Favorite strain
Ooh.
when playing D&D. Now, look, I'm not going to say strain. I feel like everybody will have their own strain. Strain's very personal. I don't think anybody else's answer would probably be the same. However, I would say in the two big classifications, it's better to go sativa than it is indica. Okay. And I feel like a lot of people that have negative ideas about smoking weed and playing D&D, it's like you must be smoking like dabs and indicas and then like not being able to think. Sativas, like we kind of talked about earlier, it just kind of helps you get into the thing a little bit.
Sure.
And so it just takes like one layer of one of the many layers to getting into the good parts of D&D. Just kind of takes it out, and we all just kind of go there together. So, yeah, man, I think I think that a nice sativa, a sativa dominant hybrid even, is fine. And yeah, but if you like indicas and you can handle it, I'm trying to. I got a lot to do when running a game. So sativa for me, is it? Would you say the same?
Absolutely, 100%.
These are all sativas right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Brenna's made a joke about what she's been using.
Skittles.
Skittles.
I don't know if that's I don't know. I've never known. Is it like Skittles?
Skittles.
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 I've always just said Skittles.
Every
Taste
low
the
ass
rainbow.
roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, Brenna has been plagued by the roll 20 dice recently.
Man.
It's I hate that.
Ugh.
Sometimes it happens, but that'll happen in real life too. That's one thing I am looking forward to when we go live is our punishments for the dice that have wronged us. That'll be a fun new
that'll
layer
be fun.
to the experience.
The dice that have wronged us.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Hashtag not a
But remember, if you're with Big Water,
Big water or any beer.
tell me this face couldn't sell water. Tell me.
Can't make it.
It's gotta be
Can't
that.
make a bad pose. This one. Oh man. Even like the higher you get in the show will be really funny when you're all in this setting because it's already funny watching it in the way it is. So seeing you guys with this table will be very funny.
Everyone's just gonna be like leaning together.
Just
Some Last
slowly
Supper
getting
shit.
closer.
The die over here. You're the Jesus in the middle with your board, playing it like a guitar.
Yes, we just did Behind the Greens today. We were asked if there was a session.
Yes,
Yeah.
Munge. Yes. Today was just Behind the Greens.
This is the session.
I don't want to say just. This is
This
like,
is
look at
it.
this. Did you see the
man.
hype earlier?
Did you see us run around?
Best show
and
on
be
Twitch
crazy?
right
I
now.
think Munge came in like right when the hype, hopefully right when the hype train happened.
I bet it was when
That
Munge
would be
got here.
so
we felt it.
confusing. You just came in and were
Munge is
running
here.
around. What's happening?
This is how we always do it. We always run. Yeah. Oh, he came in at level 5. You weren't late. You were right on time.
Right at the perfect time. That hype was hype, though. Yes, true.
Thanks, best friend.
Oh, gosh. Oh, today was your first day of remote teaching here in Denver. Oh, man.
Whoa.
So much love to you.
Get your rest,
Thanks,
Director Dude.
Thanks for all the support, bro. We love you, man. Yeah. We're probably getting toward the latter parts of our journey here. We've lost a mic along the way. It was
We
all.
did.
You all think that mic died? It didn't. I sabotaged it. 'Cause look how close I get to sit to
Just
Jake
wanted
right
to
now.
be close.
You know.
I know.
That would be on
Just
my character
getting all-
sheet. Damages
Can't
ball
wait.
tech.
Just wait till we can touch each other during the show. I don't mean that to sound like it sounds, but I stand by what I said. Wait until we can touch each other in this room.
The great
Yeah.
banging in the studio.
Oh, guys, it will be known as the Great Bang.
That'll be an interesting talk after. Oh, great. Mom, Dad.
Brian's bring the hype back.
Oh, this is so much fun. It's so great getting to talk to you. It's been a minute since we've done a Behind the Greens. So when you shouted out and was like, hey, let's do this, I was like, yes, please. And having Jake, we haven't had Jake yet. So exciting. It's been so lovely to see you.
I'm honored. This has been a blast.
It's
Oh
so
my
fun.
god.
We brought out the books. This has been a big moment.
Yeah, this
and
is
the dice.
we've got editions 1, we've got AD&D, we've got that's the Dragonlance book.
Oh
from
shit!
Dragon
Can we fight that
Lance.
guy? Can we
Yeah,
fight him?
we just fought him.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Oh,
You did great.
sweet.
Roll for treasure.
I don't remember that.
No, yeah, I've got 3.0. I've just looked. I just found a box with all my books, and yeah. But I think to me, the sexiest thing, and I'd like to. I mean, if we're gonna call this, let's call it with this.
Yeah.
This is throwing it back to Red Book. Now there was one other, the White Book before this, but this is some pretty old school. This is legit. The way it's like way back when. Dungeons and Dragons, Red Book. Beautiful thing, man. D&D's a thing of history. Please play Dungeons and Dragons. Please watch them play Dungeons and
Yes,
Dragons.
watch them. I'll be in the chat.
Please come hang with Hufflepuff
Yes.
Chipmunk in
Hufflepuff.
chat. Our homies, everybody in chat right now, seriously, shout out Bedhead, Steffi Poo, Double T. I'm just reading names. Brian Orion, freaking love you, bro. Double T, all you guys. Seriously, it's like, yeah, people thank you all the time. I can't stop, though. You guys make this thing so much better than anything I think we ever thought that it was going to be.
I knew it was. I knew it was going to be amazing. He's been telling me about this idea for so long, and I just knew it was going to be an amazing thing. It's going to keep getting better, man.
Woo-wee.
I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Thanks,
and,
y'all.
and asking all your wonderful questions. It's been so great. So I don't have a lighter with me. Yes.
I got one.
We got
I'm
you.
part
Is
of
that
the
pickle?
team. It's Pickle.
Mine has
Got the pickle.
The 20. It's got the crit on it.
Mine's green.
All right, guys. Pretty soon we might have an emote for this soon.
Oh, hey.
Let's take those bad boys. You know how we do it around these parts. Maybe you've heard about it. Maybe you haven't. We like to go
Lighters up.
I didn't say it. Can we do it again?
Yeah,
Lighters
yeah.
up.
Forget we just
Light-
said
light-
lighters
Lighters
up.
up.
We love you. WeeDnD every Tuesday, 8 p.m. right here on Twitch or YouTube. If that's where you're watching it, I'm going to go Malone to death.
Thanks, guys. Good night, Sam.